Hey, what's up you guys? David here once again for another video, and welcome to the weekly show. This is where we talk about car stuff and other cool stuff too. So today's episode, first things first, is sponsored by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book sponsors the NASCAR driver Chase Elliott, who will be driving at Dover International Speedway this weekend for NASCAR. So he's a super humble and soft-spoken dude, so show him some love for me. So let's talk about something I can talk about literally all day and all week and all year, basically, because pretty much this updates every day. So we're gonna be talking about the performance cap. So what I mean by that is, do street cars specifically, not so much Top Fuel and F1 cars so much, but street cars, production cars, when it comes to the modified world of those, do you think there's ever going to be a cap where we go, is this too much? And when does it stop? And the reason I brought this up in my brain the other day was when ETS broke the GTR quarter mile record once again under 7 seconds. AMS actually had the title first, now ETS has it, and both were under 7 seconds. A 6-second quarter mile in what started out as a factory street car. That is absolutely incredible. It's pretty amazing that companies like AMS came from splitting blocks in half just to find out where the capability was of the GTR to running 6-second quarter mile times. But is there a point where we look at each other and go, are our cars actually going too fast for some of these events? And the quarter mile is almost starting to feel obsolete because it just happens so fast. Well, then half mile events come along and then you're like, that's awesome. But here in Georgia, believe it or not, they just canceled a half mile event here. And here's the reason. They canceled it because the cars were too fast to slow down. So here's a frame of reference. 10 years ago, the Texas Mile, which was a big boy thing to do, still is around. It's really cool. It's this thing where people get to open up their cars, a lot like the half mile event, but they have even more runoff. So they can really top out a car as much as they can if they have longer gears. The record for the Texas Mile is somewhere around 260 something miles an hour. I believe it's 263 miles an hour in a fully built, boosted Ford GT. It's a badass car and it's pretty incredible to see. But now go back with that same ETS GTR and it did the half mile at 250 something miles an hour. So it's pretty insane to see that by cutting an entire half mile, 10 years later, we're able to go that much faster. And I think that's pretty remarkable. One of my friends, Sean, out in Texas, used to help with building some of the twin turbo Lamborghinis, and he would say that once you hit like 2,000 horsepower, you feel like your organs being pushed back. He's like, it's a really instant regret feeling getting in a car like that. At the same time, I go, hey Sean, what's your favorite horsepower? And he goes, oh, I like to have it at a tame, nice 1,300. And I'm like, I think what a lot of people don't realize, especially a lot of my younger viewers who haven't been in a lot of different fast cars, anything above 500 horsepower is insane. My 240SX with a 2J in it is stupid quick, and it is pretty scary for somebody who's never been in something like that. My Mustang, 630 horsepower to the wheels, still pretty crazy, but it's a big fish in a little pond when it comes to the main spectrum of our performance now. I think the internet now feels as though we have to have a zillion horsepower with everything or the car isn't cool. And I read a comment the other day on one of my friend's videos on Gears and Gasoline who said, 1,000 horsepower ain't crap, anybody can do it now. Well, yeah, if you have the money, you can, and it's much more accessible than it used to be. But at the same time, should you do it is the key. If you just want to go all out and get as fast time as possible, I'm all for just seeing where it goes, seeing what it does. It's kind of like the GT350 I drove that had twin turbos on it. Was it ideal? Probably not, but as an R&D research and development test, it's amazing. 8 pounds of boost and 850 horsepower. It's pretty incredible where performance has gone nowadays, and I just wanted to open this up for conversation. What do you guys think about the performance benchmark now? Do you think it's kind of ridiculous? I mean, I remember when Jeremy Clarkson reviewed the Ferrari F12, and he literally thought that it had too much power. Coming from Jeremy Clarkson, he himself on his website said anything over 500 horsepower is kind of silly. But in my opinion, I love driving stupid fast cars because they're silly, because they're so unusable overall. That's kind of what makes it thrilling and why it makes it, well, just awesome. So yeah, I'm going back and forth here, but main point is, what do you guys think about the performance cap? When do you think it's ever going to stop? Especially later when combustion motors are kind of being phased out. I think electric cars are gonna just totally rock our socks off when it comes to top end speed. So let's talk about our weekly recap. Our weekly recap had this week was a V8 swapped Mark III Supra. Instead of being a Chevy, it was actually a Ford small block, which is really interesting and was a lot of fun. Very intriguing. Cole did an amazing job on the car, and it was a very fun review. Next, I just had a kind of bonus video this week talking about my notification system. So make sure if you haven't reset the notification system, click the bell, reset it. A lot of people aren't getting the notifications, but thank you to all who did do that the other day. It actually did make a big difference. Then, believe it or not, speaking of the Kelley Blue Book and Chase Elliott earlier, I actually went to a NASCAR race, my first time since 2012. So I was really intrigued by being able to get into the pit and really analyze the sport. So I might start doing this as a series called Motorsport Analyze, where I'll go to different motorsports and really dig deep in how it works and what goes on. I know NASCAR isn't interesting for everybody, but please give that video a chance, because not because I'm begging you, but because I give it from a different perspective than just Talladega Nights. It is a giant production and giant moving machine, and it's pretty incredible when you break it down. Tomorrow we have a video about Project Cars 2. I actually went out to Sonoma Raceway and drove a McLaren 570S, and then drove the same track in the same car in virtual reality, and I compared the two if Project Cars did their job. That'll be tomorrow. And next week, we'll have an E92 M3 review, which is a big deal because it was the only V8 M3 ever made. And various other videos will be coming out next week and the week after that and the week after that, because this is YouTube. Once again, if you guys don't know my schedule, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday with the occasional video on Friday. So if you missed the notification, there you go. Also, one more thing. Thank you all who support Life 444 for Love for Life for Charity. And it's been so amazing seeing this grow, and we're able to help a different charity every 2 months. So thank you so much for that. Link in the description below. Also, I should be at Streetcar Takeover tomorrow in Atlanta. It'll be at Commerce, which is the Atlanta Dragway. I will be there hanging out. I was gonna race my 240SX, but unfortunately, 2 of my wheel bearings went out, and I'm gonna be redoing the cooling system in my 240SX because it's good everywhere until I get to like the mountains. The air is thinner and it just doesn't have as good airflow. My radiator and my motor are just too close together. So in return, I'm gonna do a tucked radiator, different shroud setup, and get a turbo blanket and just make some more effort to cool the engine down. Big motor, small space. We're gonna focus on that. I'll keep you guys updated on other events I go to this fall. I'm gonna be flying all over the place. I will be at SEMA as well in the next month, so keep an eye out for that as well. I'm always gonna be hopping around. Make sure to follow my social medias for all that information. All right, you guys, going back to our first topic, do you think cars are starting to get a little ridiculous and out of everybody's price range to be able to compete? Or should we just say put in a limited class and everybody just go have fun and just not worry about it? I'm more so on that end, but there is an argument there to be made. Thank you all so much for watching this quick little video, and I will see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.